I'm underneath my daughter's 2012 Honda Civic LX, and it's developed a pretty significant wobble or vibration. There's nothing wrong with the suspension parts in terms of there's no bearings that are going bad, no tie rod ends or anything like that. Could be the axles, but they feel good to me. So everything that I have looked at points to this, what do they call this? A torque strut engine mount, which is on the, of course, underneath the engine. Here's the oil pan. I've got a little bit of up pressure on the oil pan to hold this kind of up a little bit, to maybe not bind. And so we went today, picked up a new one, which was a bit of a pain to find. So my job right now is to get this old one out and replace it with a new one. Now, I'm not going to be able necessarily to film this, but I'll see if I can explain how this works so that you have an idea of what I'm going to be doing here. So, this mount actually has a bolt here that's a 17-inch or 17 millimeter head, 17-inch, yeah. And there's another one on the back side here. I've actually already gotten those loose. I put some penetrating oil on there because I thought this was going to be a pain. And there's one that goes into the subframe. So these two go into the engine block, and then there's one big one that goes up into the subframe. I had to move this kind of plastic thing down out of the way so I could get to it. It too looked pretty crusty, but with a little bit of penetrating oil, I was able to muscle that one loose as well. So that's our goal, is to get this one out. And once I do, I'll pull it out. I'll compare it with the new one to make sure we got the right part. And hopefully we'll see evidence that the rubber piece that's up here is detached or broken. So, all right, here we go. All right, so here are the two side by side. New one, old one. You can see this old one is collapsed and actually it's torn out. You probably can't see it very well. See how you can see light through there? Torn out. Not torn out. Torn out. So this one's bad, and we'll replace it with this one. Let's see if I can get that back up in there. Alright, so I've got the new little torque strut installed. Actually, really easy job. The hardest part is just if you're crawling around on the ground, it's pretty tough. Again, I did put a little support under the oil pan here. Not a lot of pressure. It's not like I lifted the engine. I just basically held it where it was. I took these two, this one and the one on the other side out. And then you can kind of see up underneath this plastic, which I'll zip tie back up there. There's this bolt that's a long one that goes all the way up into the subframe, and that one also came out, went back in really easily. I'll get I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll get you the torque specs for these, and either superimpose them here on the video for you to see. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do, and then you'll know kind of how much to tighten these things in there. You're going into aluminum here, and then of course the steel subframe there, so kind of use your noggin. Once they're tight, they're tight. So if I remember off the top of my head, it's 56 foot-pounds or something like that. It's different for each one, so I'll get it and I'll stick it on the screen for you. All right, I'm going to zip tie this plastic piece back up there because, as is typical, a lot of these things are, the little clips and whatnot are broken. And then, yeah, this job's done.